everyone, welcome back to Gav's Tarantulas. Hijacking the channel again to show you some maintenance and care of our lovely Pacman horned frogs. So Tully is helping me today to clean them out. We started off by putting the cocoa fibre into the sink, poured a load of boiling water over the top to sterilise it, make sure we've killed any bacteria, added some more cold water, and then as you can see you need to squeeze it a lot, get all the water out, and then it goes all nice and crumbly. Here is our, I can't remember how you say it, Cromwell's horned frog. Anyway, this is Bubba. I have to be careful when I get them out because they do like to jump. I have cleaned my hands thoroughly to make sure that I don't have any toxins or soap or anything on my hands, because I don't want to allow them to absorb any badness. Anyway, so he can have a little swim in the sink whilst I'm sorting out his tank. And obviously this is bottled water, so it's sterilised, just spring water. They can't have tap water, and he can enjoy a little swim while I sort out his enclosure. Tully's doing the filming and helping me out, and giving him a little spray. He is my little ledge. I think in a minute he just decides to headbutt the side of the sink a couple of times. Not sure what he thinks he's doing there, trying to escape maybe, but yeah, having a little jump around. Nice little close up. There you go, headbutt in the sink. Doosh, 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 doosh. So I'm going to start by just cleaning around all the sides, making sure that it's get rid of all the watermarks, just clean it up a little bit, and then I'm going to by taking out all of the super wet soil. This is generally where Bubba likes to sit, so obviously this is where they also go to the toilet, so just making sure that I get rid of all of that and put in some nice clean substrate for him to enjoy. This one is really wet, but I'm going to keep it with half of the old substrate where his water dish is, so that's still nice and soaking wet, and then the other half is just cocoa fibre, obviously not so wet. The nice thing about that then is they can choose which end they go to, and then that gives me an indication as well as to how wet they like it. Generally as well, what's nice with the cocoa bark is I've noticed that they love to like wiggle down to the bottom and put the substrate up and over them, and with the cocoa fibre it's easier for them to do that, and they both end up sitting in this lovely little cocoon of soil, all content under their leaves. Sometimes they sit out as well, which is nice. They're pretty content now, and they seem very happy, make a lot of noise, generally about 5 o'clock in the morning, chirping away, which is lovely to hear. Maybe not at 5 in the morning, but it's still lovely to hear them chirping away. So the substrate's in now, and I'm just gonna give it a fine misting all over, still just for humidity, make sure it's nice and damp for them, just not as wet as the other side. So it's starting to look nice and fresh now. In a minute as well I shall put in their like vine leaf decoration. It's not real, I just sucker it to the side, but they like to hide under that at times. I don't know whether they want privacy, but also they live in the window, just down onto the table under the window, so sometimes then they can choose whether they're out in the sun or whether they want to hide in the shade. It's up to them. So time for Bubba to go back, but I'm just giving him a check over as well, because they can hurt themselves sometimes, and these guys do have, like, you can see there, Bubba's got a crooked nose, bless him, and bad back legs from when they were little, so in someone else's care. So I'm just giving them a check over, make sure that he's healthy and everything's fine, which it was, which is good. He's so cute, but I have told them very carefully because they can jump out. Gav's pointing there, we were just checking to see if we could tell whether they were male or female from the markings on their legs. I can't remember if we actually came to a conclusion or not. I don't think we did. So Tully has done the same thing, washed his hands, made sure that they're free of any nasties, and he got to hold him and put him back into his new lovely clean home. And now it's Jabba's turn. who is the Argentinian albino wide-mouth horned frog. And obviously you can tell that Jabba is a lot bigger than Bubba. Little porker, he eats a lot more. He or she loves his worms, occasionally gets a treat of a locust and does like crickets as well, but generally goes mad for the worms, this one. I noticed as well, whilst cleaning out this enclosure, you can see that by the end she is bigger. So sitting in the water, they love to sit and absorb it all into underneath their skin. They end up with a lot of water retention, but obviously that's good for them for hydration and protection. So she was not only enjoying a little paddle around, she also swelled up and absorbed a lot of the water at the same time. Tully's given her a little spritz there. I love the colours of this one. She's vibrant. And her little special mouth that sticks out is very cute. They are incredibly clumsy when they eat as well. Feeding them initially, I would put a worm in the tongs, but once Jabba did actually catch the tongs in his tongue, Gav, shut up, you're such an asshole. He caught the tongs as well, and I was really worried that I'd hurt him. He was actually fine, luckily. So now I just squish it slightly and put it in front of them, and they catch it eventually when they're ready, because they are very clumsy with where their tongues go. So the same thing in the enclosure as Jabba's. No, this is Jabba as Bubba's. I get them so confused. I'm always mixing up their names. I do it all the time. And the kids tell me off. No, Mum, it's not that one, it's this one. Anyway, so same as before, same enclosure, lots of cocoa fibre, a bit drier. I'm about to rinse out the bowl because I got substrate in it and I want it to be nice and clean. Although again, in the evening they do like to go over, normally overnight, and sit in their water bowl, little pond, whatever you want to call it. And like I said earlier, just absorb the water and enjoy sitting in it. Sometimes they're in it for hours, which is nice to see. So again, putting in spring filtered water into that for them to absorb whenever they're ready. Sally's going in for a little close-up. I'll give them a nice little worm or cricket when they're back into their new enclosure as a little treat. I hope they like enjoying being in the sink. I quite like to do this often, where they just get to have a little splash about. So yeah, rinsing out the bowl, as you can see, getting it nice and clean and fresh. Tully's gone in for another close-up. It's looking quite murky now, that water. Again, Tully wanted to put Jabba back, but you have to hold him even more careful than the other one because she is very good at jumping out. A little close-up, she's so cute. Hello, hello Jabba. Bye-bye Jabba. Nice clean home. Thanks for watching, people. I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. Peace out.